All right, let's pick up where we left off here in the toolbar. Advanced Editor, you'll never need to touch this. It's for advanced users, so just ignore it. The question mark, kind of helpful. It's a little cheat sheet telling you everything that we just went over. So multiple choice, this is how it's depicted, this is how it's read on our end. Checkboxes, text input. If you have multiple answers for the text input, maybe your word is spelled multiple different ways, or you do it with capitalization or not. You just put in as many options or ways that it can be answered by adding or equals and then your alternate answer. Numerical input, drop down, the label, and the explanation. All right there. So that's what that does. Just as a reminder, settings. Settings, the display name, we can call this wine question, one. Okay, wine quiz question one. There we go. MATLAB API key, you can just ignore this section, it won't be relative to you. Maximum attempts. So by default, you can attempt a question multiple times. If you want to limit that, you do this here. Problem weight, by default, the problem is worth 1 point, but perhaps you have some questions that you feel are worth more in weight, so you can adjust that here. So instead of 1, maybe a question is worth 2 points to you, or 2.5 points. You can increase or decrease by 1/10. So make that adjustment here in problem weight. Randomization, you can ignore this section, it has nothing to do with BARWA, it has to do with programming. And show the answer. So likely you might not want the student to have the ability to see what the answer is before they attempt the question. You select that setting here. So never show the answer, or you can show the answer, perhaps you have it set in a timed quiz, so you can show the answer after the due date is passed, or you can show the answer after they've answered, or you can show the answer after they've attempted. A lot of options there. I like to have it as answered. Show the reset button. So if you want to allow your students to attempt the question multiple times and allow them to reset it each time they answer incorrectly, you can allow that. By default, it's set to off or to false. You can change that if you wish. Then if you do change that to true, you can set a timer. So maybe you don't allow them to attempt the question rapid fire. Maybe you make them wait a few minutes or hours or days. So you can set that timer right there. Other than that, it's pretty simple. Hit save. And there's our question. We already answered it on this side, but in order for it to be live for students, you want to go over and hit publish. All right, that's it for this video. Cheers.